and my name is Venerable Sumangalo, and I'm from Ajahn Brahm's monastery in WA. So I've been training there for about 8 years now, and I've been in Australia about 8 years. So yeah, I'm quite familiar with Ajahn Brahm's techniques and how he teaches meditation. So if you have any questions regarding how Ajahn Brahm teaches, I would be very knowledgeable in that respects. But yeah, I'll do my best to answer your questions. But I just wanted to see if anyone had a topic that they want to talk about meditation tonight, or even if not meditation and Dhamma, just to start us off in the in the right mindset. So that way, when we sit, we have the good conditioning for samadhi to arise. So is there anyone that has a topic that they'd like to talk about? Meditation first, and then if not, then Dhamma also. Sorry? Gratitude. Is that right? Gratitude. That's a great topic to start us off, to bring joy and happiness to the mind, to uplift it. And then, then the mind becomes still very quickly because of that attitude of mind. Yeah? So gratitude. Okay. So usually, what are you grateful for usually in normal life, yeah? So sometimes we forget just the simple stuff that life has for us, what we have in our life, and we kind of focus on more what we want or what we should have in our life, and just forget the necessities, just the basics, like, you have food, you have clothing, yeah? Have you eaten today? Has anyone not eaten today? No? Okay. And then what else? Has everyone have a place to stay, like a room or, shelter? Yeah, pretty much. And then what else? The Buddha said, medicine, if you're sick, Does everyone have access to medicine that they need? Yeah, pretty much. Those are in need of medicine. So, that's the 4 requisites that the Buddha set down for the monks that we should look at first. The basic, we have a robe, we have alms food, we have medicines such as tea, milk, honey, or any other drugs that we need that way we were sick, like Panadol, and shelter, a place to stay, like a temple, or even the root of trees in the Buddhist time. But the trees in India is much, much more bigger and comfortable, not like, the little trees that we have here. So it's like very, huge. You sit under there, it's like a throne almost. So that's very protective, yeah? So first, if you're unhappy in life, or whatever is bothering you, usually, check that out first. You have those 4 requisites, and you should be appreciative, because not everyone in the world have that, yeah? Some people are homeless. Some people are hungry, yeah? They don't have enough food in some countries. Not medicines, not clean water to drink, to wash with. Not enough clothing. Some people go cold. So a lot of people in the world might be like that. Some countries anyway. So we reflect on having those as very, very lucky already to have those requisites as a human being. And you're a human being. That's something to be very grateful for. Yeah, you're not. You have mental stability. You're not too crazy. You're not insane. So that enables you to listen to the Dhamma. Yeah, you're a human being. You're not, mentally insane. Then you come to the Dhamma of the Buddha, the teachings of the Buddha, which is quite rare in the suttas, to hear the Dhamma, to be in a country where there's freedom of religion. Because sometimes you're human, you're healthy, but you don't have the opportunity to hear the Dhamma because of certain religious restrictions in some countries. Yeah. So that's quite rare. So certain conditions, the Buddha said, if you have those things, really appreciate it and make use of it, and don't just overlook it. Yeah. So you have those things. What else? That's quite basic. And then you have a family, some of you. Yeah. You have parents. You get along with most people. You have friends. You have a job. You have a way of making a living for yourself. You have a car. Probably most of you. So we just kind of look at these things. Oh yeah, I have these things. It's here, and appreciate it, bring it up to mind. And further, usually I think of, what else have I gotten that's quite rare? You have good teachers that come here to teach the Dhamma. Now that is something that inspires me. You don't you come across good teachers very often in the world. Teachers that really, really have practiced the path. People like Ajahn Chah, Ajahn Mun, where people have really experienced certain stages of enlightenment and are passing that down to their disciples still till this day. And because of that, we have the opportunity for liberation ourselves. Yeah? Without those teachings, without the living examples of these teachers, the path is almost closed. The text alone, in my opinion, is not enough. Yeah? You need real examples, real people to show you, it can be done. They're right sitting in front of you. Wow, this is incredible. I better take advantage of this opportunity while it's still here. Yeah. That's why I went forth. I was like, whoa, I should try this out. I should at least give it a year and see how it went. And then after that, as in it being an Anagarika for 1 year, I was like very inspired and happy. So, so I continued on, try another year as a novice monk. And I was like, wow, this path is awesome. It's so happy. So you can't stop. So then I tried another year being a bhikkhu, and I was like, wow, this is nice. I belong in the robe. This is where I belong with the Sangha. So the happiness becomes, gets higher and higher and higher. The stability of the happiness is like, it goes up, it stabilizes. It's not like one of those happiness that are kind of up and down. But if you practice the Dhamma, the happiness level rises and then it stabilizes, stabilizes. So you get less of the up and down happiness. So therefore, your happiness is very stable. It's very calming and peaceful. So it's a very different kind of happiness. The happiness in the world that we're used to is sort of like the central pleasure is you get your high and then you go low and you high and then you go low. You watch TV or you drink or, the senses, there's what do you call, it's not as stable. Yeah. So, so we reflect on gratitude. It brings our mind, it kind of brings joy to the mind, yeah? And when there's joy in the mind, it's easy to let go. This happiness is in the mind already. It arises because of gratitude. And once that arises, you can sort of feel that with the body and also with the mind. The body relaxes, the mind relaxes, and it feels nice, it feels good, and you don't have to do anything. When you're feeling the pleasure of the body, the happiness in the body and in the mind, you're just enjoying it, yeah? You don't have to do anything. So therefore, letting go happens. Stillness happens because of the happiness. Yeah. So happiness brings stillness, bring us up stillness, and stillness brings happiness. They condition each other. And the more still you are, the more happy you are. The happiness brings stillness. Stillness brings happiness. And then it just kind of feed on each other. It becomes a process. It's a snowball effect. And all you do is just kind of sit back and just watch it all happen, not interfering, not having to put willpower into it, you know, put effort in sitting for long periods, or, you know, trying to sit straight, or using the willpower. You know, sometimes people use willpower to meditate, and that usually, yeah, there's some results. I've tried that myself, but that's not as, it's not like high. The stillness, the happiness is much more higher. It's a higher form of meditation. It's more subtle, for one thing. Yeah, and it lasts longer, and it gets better. It leads to higher states of mind, because it's so subtle. It can go much higher, but willpower is sort of like too coarse. You know, it's a coarse vehicle. It's too coarse, therefore, it can only reach a certain point, and then you kind of flat. It becomes flat because it's not subtle enough anymore. Yeah, it has to be subtle to reach the high stages of happiness. So I encourage you to try out the willpower if you like, see how that works out, see how long, how far you can take it, and then try the wisdom power, as Ajahn Brahm says it. See how far that can take you. And the wisdom power, from my experience, is much, much better. It's like the gold standard, yeah? It's like you're driving, you know, a Honda Civic, yeah? Or you're driving a Tesla. Totally two different, you know, kind of cars, you know. So, yeah. So let's I guess now we can start trying out this new method, or not new method, just this method that I've been talking about. Yeah. So I usually start off with just kind of adjusting my clothing, to making sure my belt is nice and loose, my robe is in the right places. So you want to be comfortable as possible. So close your eyes gently. And just kind of feeling your body and adjusting anything that's needed. How do you feel? So we're going to do a quick body sweep. You're relaxing methodically each parts of our body, and that relaxes. So I usually start off with my toes. So wiggle your toes to see how it feels. Feeling the sensations. Now feeling your feet and relaxing them, giving them a stretch, feeling all the muscles and veins. Caring for them, relaxing them, massaging them. And moving up to your ankles, giving them a stretch. Now up to the calves. Now up to the knees. Yeah, the thighs. The buttocks. Making sure it's nice and comfortable. Now up to the lower back. Giving it a stretch. The mid back. The upper back. Now to the shoulders. I usually like to scrunch up my shoulders really tight. And release. Try that again. That's where most of the stress usually sits, in the shoulders. Now, down to the arms. The elbows. Forearm. Your wrist. Your hands. And fingers. Placing them in a comfortable position. Now, we move to the chest area, your chest. Relaxing them, caring for them. Moving to the heart area. See if there's any tightness there. See if you can make it less tight. Feeling the muscles and arteries around the heart. Just caring for it. And moving down to the mid-region, the ribs. Into the stomach. Appreciating, caring for the stomach. It does a lot of work for you. Every day, 3 times a day usually. All that hard work of digesting, moving all that food, absorbing it. It's a lot of hard work the stomach does. So caring for it, massaging your stomach. Send some kindness there. Now we move up to our neck. Relaxing it, stretching it so that it's comfortable, not stiff, not too loose, not too stiff. Holding your head up in a balanced way. Now we move up to our face. So what I usually like to do is just give myself a big smile. And that kind of stretches the facial muscle and also makes me feel good. You're smiling. It brings up positive energy. And now we move up to the muscles around the eyes. And just massaging it, all those muscles in a circular way, massaging it. Yeah, there's definitely some tension there. You could feel all the tensions around the eyes, especially if you've been working on the computer. And then we move to the eyeballs by twirling them around in a circular motion. So twirling your eyeballs by massage. That's how you would massage it. So massage it by twirling your eyeballs around. Okay, that feels good. Now we move to the crown of the head. So see if you can feel the crown of your head. Are there any aches or pains? Any headaches? See if you can massage any aches and pains. using your mindfulness, massage that part of the head. Okay, now the body's fairly comfortable now. I'm going to do one last check. Just kind of scan through your body, see if there's any areas that need stretching or adjusting. And the last minute adjustments. And so the body's fairly relaxed, fairly comfortable. Now we can leave the body alone, just like our cars, we park it, we lock the doors, and we walk away, knowing that it'll be there when we come back. So we do the same thing with the body. We leave it alone and walk away. And now we turn our attention even more inwards to our mental and emotional state. How do you feel? So now what I usually do is pretend in your left hand, imagine you're holding a heavy suitcase, and that suitcase is called P-A-S-T, the past. So anything that you've done today, or anything that's bothering you from the past, that's in the suitcase you're holding in your left hand. So for this time, please put down that suitcase. Imagine yourself lowering that heavy suitcase of the past. Leave that alone for a while. And you feel much lighter. That heaviness is lifted. And imagine on your right hand, another heavy suitcase called the F-U-T-U-R-E, the future. All the worries and plans that you're going to do for the tomorrow or this coming week, all the Christmas gatherings. What are you going to do? Who's going to visit? Families. All those future plans. Imagine that heavy suitcase of the future. Please put that down. And that feels much better. The burdens of the past and the future has been put down for a little while so we can feel the lightness and happiness of not having to worry about the past and the future. And then what happens when you put those two down? There's only one thing left, and that's the present moment. So whatever's happening now, please care for it. Be kind to it. Having a positive attitude towards whatever's happening. Doesn't matter if it's pleasant or unpleasant. Could be a pain, it could be a unpleasant feeling that arising. What we do is we make peace with that. We don't try to get rid of it. We open the door of our heart and allow it to come in. Please come in. And if we have that loving kindness and attitude, then we feel much more free. No more business to be done. Allowing things to be, caring for this present moment. Being grateful to be here. Happy to be here. If there any thinking that comes up, please be kind to it. There's nothing wrong with thinking. It will settle down in good time. Okay, so it's getting close to the end of the meditation. How do you feel? You can feel the body is more relaxed. And the mind has calmed down. Much more calmer when we first started. So now we'll ring the gong 3 times. Please listen to every sound. And after the 3rd ringing, please slowly and gently come out of the meditation. Okay, welcome back everyone. Okay, so any questions, comments, or complaints?
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Venerable. Just before we have the questions, a quick few reminders about upcoming events this week. Importantly, just tomorrow night, there is no layperson guided meditation here, and nor is there one next Tuesday night, because that's the 31st and we have a New Year's Eve event here, which you're welcome to. But it won't be a guided meditation, or not for the whole evening, not in the usual way. There is a one-day meditation retreat here on Wednesday this week, on Christmas Day, if you would like to come. I don't have a starting time here, but I think it's 9 o'clock. Thank you, 9 o'clock on Christmas Day. So welcome to join us here if you have nothing else to do. As I said, there's a New Year's Eve event on the 31st, and then starting on the 4th, there's a 4-day meditation retreat here at the BSV being led by Ajahn Nisarano. Just a reminder, also there are opportunities to join us online for guided meditations in the mornings and also in the evenings. I just recommend you look out for those on the BSV website or newsletter. They're through our Discord channel. Next week's guided teaching program on Sunday, the talk will be by Aya Upeka from Newbury, and she will also do the guided meditation on Monday. about all the announcements. Are there any questions here in the hall to start with? A comment?
Thank you very much, Venerable. That was a lot of gratitude. I was a little reluctant at 5:30 to come, but I'm so pleased I did. Thank you.
We do have an online question. Let's go to that now. Venerable, when sitting in meditation, my father used to do very slow head-neck rotation. I find this to be relaxing and centering. Do you think it's an appropriate technique for mindful meditation?
Yeah, that sounds okay. When you first start out, in the beginning, that could be something of a mindfulness exercise to relax the neck or the head or the body. So usually we start out with relaxing the body first and then go into the mind. So I don't see anything wrong with that.
Okay, thank you, Venerable.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions or comments or complaints here in the hall?
You know what the Buddha said about being wise in your next rebirth? Those who ask questions become much more wiser.
There's someone else online who would like to become a bit wiser,
Okay.
Venerable. Dear Bhante, if I am going through a phase like fatigue or distraction, where I'm struggling to stay with my usual meditation object, is it okay to use YouTube videos of singing bowls or bells to help?
Yeah, I can see maybe in the beginning, when you first out meditating, you can have, sounds like that, subtle sounds, to kind of help guide your attention to an object. So sound would be okay. I remember when I first started meditating and we sat with incense, we light incense before we sit, and the smell of the incense would really help me center my attention. So, but then eventually the smell kind of faded away from my attention. So I think the sound would be in that same way. It sort of helps you in the beginning, and then it just kind of disappeared to the background after a while. So I don't see any reason why you can try that out in the beginning. Yeah, that should be okay.
Thank you, Venerable.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Thank you, Venerable.
Yes.
Really enjoy the meditation. I was just curious about what you were talking about initially, about happiness as it kind of increases and then kind of plateaus and increases and plateaus again. And you talked about stillness interacting with happiness and I guess the wisdom that you obtain from the Dhamma.
Yeah.
I was just curious about that and wondered if you could talk a little bit more about it.
That's sort of like a couple questions, like two questions. Is that two?
Yeah, maybe.
Can you ask the first one again?
So you talked about how when we practice over time, our happiness can increase and plateau and increase and plateau again.
Okay.
And if I understood it correctly, you were talking about it as an interaction between
that's
meditation.
the first question, the plateau. I'll talk about that first.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
So the plateau, the happiness, like I was saying, how, it plateaus and then it goes on and plateaus. That's the Noble Eightfold Path, I would say. That's just not just meditation alone. So the Noble Eightfold Path, you can kind of summarize it in three parts. Morality, sila, samadhi, which is meditation, and panya is wisdom. So we first out some people start, like myself, I started meditating first, and then my morality increased because of that. I guess the wisdom came up, yeah? So I meditated, and then the wisdom came up, and then the wisdom saw that, oh, morality is lacking. It's good to keep morality. So then I started keeping morality. So those three things support each other. It doesn't have to go in any order, really, from my experience. So what happens when you meditate, and then you keep morality, and then you have some wisdom on what happiness is? So if you keep morality, then your level of happiness goes up, and it stabilizes because of the morality, and also supports the samadhi, and then also more wisdom comes up. So that kind of the Eightfold Path kind of like stabilizes you. Yeah, the deeper you practice it, your morality becomes more stronger or more, and your samadhi becomes stronger over time, and your wisdom becomes deeper over time. So the Eightfold Path, I would say, would be the one that increases it, increase, stabilize. And it takes a bit of time to develop those qualities of the Noble Eightfold Path, Sila, Samadhi, Panya. And that's the happiness that you get from practicing the Dhamma. So we're all different, we all come from different backgrounds and different, character or past karma, whatever you want to call it. So we start where we can. Some people start with meditation. Some people start with keeping the 5 precepts. Some people start with being generous, doing service. Some people study the Buddhist teaching. They're more scholarly. Sort of like, So we start where we can, but that's sort of like brief how that happiness increases, Those 3 factors, Sila, Samadhi, Panya. And your other question, is that the second question?
No, I think you answered it. Thank you. That's very helpful to understand how they all interact.
Yeah. Okay.
I think we've finished all the questions for this evening, Venerable.
Okay, that's great. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Okay. Do we do a chant or anything? Just whatever? Okay. Whatever I usually do. Okay. So we just pay respects to the Buddha, Dhamma, and Sangha, and can go. Arahang Sama Sambuddho Bhagava Buddhang Bhagavantang Abhivademi Swakato Bhagavata Dhammo Dhammang Namasami Supatipanno Bhagavato Sāvaka Sangho Sanghang Namami